What is going on, divine beings? That's been coming back to you all with another video. So this time we're going to be covering Mercury, but this time Mercury in Capricorn. So we just did Mercury in Cancer. If you haven't already, go ahead and watch that Mercury in Cancer video. And I tell you that just for the simple fact that Cancer and Capricorn, they sit directly opposite of each other on the zodiac wheel. So whenever I speak on Cancer, there are some things that are going to be highlighted within Cancer that will also similarly kind of apply to Capricorn. So like I stated, this is Mercury in Capricorn, or Mercury in an earth sign, because Capricorn is an earth sign. And I just wrote down all my downloads about Mercury and Capricorn, and I can completely relate with this Mercury in Capricorn, not just for the simple fact that I have Mercury in Cancer, but also because I have Saturn in my 4th house. So in astrology, Cancer is ruled by the 4th house as well as the moon. So the moon, the 4th house, and Cancer, they're one with each other. And because I have Saturn in my 4th house, right? Saturn is the planet that rules over the zodiac sign Capricorn, and Saturn also rules over Aquarius. So getting into Mercury and Capricorn. So Mercury is, before we get into Mercury and Capricorn, I want to break that down a little bit deeper. So because I stated that my Mercury is in Cancer, and I also just stated that the moon, it represents Cancer energy, right? So if I have my 4th house, or not if I have my 4th house, but if I have Saturn sitting in my 4th house and Saturn rules over Capricorn, that means wherever else I have Cancer energy in my chart, Capricorn will also influence that energy too. So in some ways and shapes and forms, my Mercury can also be skewed in the direction of where Capricorn Mercury energy is. Mercury is the planet that deals with how we translate information, how we process information. It's our mind, it's our mental, it's our mouth, it's our tongue piece, and it's also our voice. And it's how we're heard and how we hear others. So it's also your ears and how you listen. Because Mercury is a planet, I'm about to say a zodiac sign. Mercury is a planet that rules over the zodiac sign, Gemini as well as Virgo. And so Gemini is an air sign. So the thing about air is that it's invisible. So even when air is not present in your face or present in your eyes, in your eyesight, because it's not readily seen, it can always be like a monitoring energy, meaning that it's always listening, regardless of whether or not it shows you that it's listening. Because Mercury deals with being quiet in order to hear, and it deals with just looking at shit and observing in order to see what something fully is before you approach it. So whenever we have Mercury in the zodiac sign of Capricorn, so whenever we have Mercury in Capricorn, my shit just said 10% battery. Let me put it on the charger while we at it. This is the phone that can record up to 10 minutes. My other phone can only record to 3 minutes on TikTok. We don't want this one to die. And the other one goddamn full. So we talking on this one. What I was talking about? A little 222. And we talk about the moon. So we was talking about Cancer energy, but Cancer being directly opposite of Capricorn. Look at there. So the ancestors rule over number 2 because oh look, that's very important for this topic. The ancestors rule over the number 2 because the number 2 is ruled by the moon, and the moon rules over like your past. It rules over what you already know and what you already learned. So think about Capricorn being directly opposite of Cancer, right? So Capricorn being directly opposite of Cancer, Capricorn is a physical earth sign, whereas water or Cancer is a water sign, and it deals with our spirit, things that are not so readily physical. Because with water, you can put your hands directly in it. So water has this nature to it that it doesn't really hold a physical form all the time, and unless water is frozen. And the only time water can hold a physical form is when it is contained like this. So the body is the container for water. So think about how ancestors rule over the element of water, right? So think about how our blood, it holds our DNA sequencing, which, you know, you get your DNA from who? Your ancestors, right? So given that Capricorn is a physical earth sign, Capricorn represents the container that this water is in. Because the same way you see my body right now, you don't see my blood. And the thing about earth is that it's rigid, right? So it's a hard surface. That's why you can't see through it, because it's hard. You can't see through my blood. You can't see my blood cells through my skin unless, you know, I was of a paler complexion. But so getting back in, look, we're gonna have to make a part 2 on this because this is already 4 minutes long. But getting back into how Capricorn is related to the ancestors, right? So I stated that the blood is your DNA or your gene sequencing. So if the blood is the gene sequencing, well, what is the sequencing also of the cells that the blood is like supplying life to, because the blood supplies life to the body. So the health of your blood is also a key indicator of also the health of the cells that are in your body, because we have white blood cells, we have red blood cells. And also with that, because Cancer is ruled by the mom, the mother, look at the word moon, M-O-O-N. Whenever we have like a root word of a word, like the moon has 2 O's in it. So whenever we have a root word like that, or whenever you try to pull the root word from a word like that has double letters, you only use one of those
while I was
letters.
editing this
So
video, I just got the deepest download about the information that was just
like
put on the
cow,
screen and before this text right here is popping up on your screen.
So
I just gave a breakdown
like
on the moon and the breakdown of the spelling of the moon,
right?
and the breakdown
and so
of how
Cancer rules the mother, just for the simple fact that every zodiac sign rules a part of the body, and the part of the body that Cancer rules over is the
so with the word moon, right,
well
as you just saw on the screen, if you pause it and go back and look at it. All right, so if you pause it and came back and looked at it,
also how we digest food as well.
So M and A are constantly found in mom, or in the word or in the phrase ma. Like when you call your mom ma, you're saying M-A. The creator's name is the great I am, A-M. The creator is masculine and feminine, the great I am. This literally shows how we are created in the image and likeness of the creator. Oh my gosh, I wasn't even trying to get this download. But all right, let's get back to the damn program. This gonna have to be a whole other separate topic in like a whole other video by itself. We interrupt this message to you know how I used to be on TV back in the days? We interrupt this message too. All right, so get back to this picture, what I was speaking on with the electromagnetic field of the body, and how I stated that Cancer represents that field that you see right there, that's around that human body in this image. And so Capricorn represents the physical body in and of itself, because Capricorn is relative to the earth element. Look at the picture above this whole electromagnetic field. Look at the earth. The earth also has an electromagnetic field. So looking at this electromagnetic field, the thing about that is the electromagnetic field represents the spirit realm that we all are living in on the earth. And when you go to sleep, because Cancer represents the dream realm, we freely enter into that space. This download was perfect for this video of Capricorn energy.
And I should have already put a picture up on the screen by now of what that looks like. And so Capricorn is the physical body in and of itself, the body, the structure, right? So the structure in which that field is surrounding. So they are intertwined with each other. So therefore, given that Cancer is ruled by the mom, or the moon rules over the mom, remember Cancer is ruled by the moon. So Cancer, when I say Cancer, is also synonymous to the moon. So whenever we're speaking on Cancer being the mom, well, if Cancer is the mom and it's the water, it's the soft one, we got to have a hard one. So Capricorn is the grandfather. And I say the grand, remember grand, what is grand? It's something that's great, something that has been around, grand. So it has a grandness to it. It has a vastness to it. So whenever we think about the earth sign, we have to literally think about a seed. So this seed carries the genetic information or the genetic coding of every seed of every tree
trees and seeds are synonymous with each other too. They're just in different forms. You know how Jesus said, if you have seen me, then you have seen the Father? Well, this seed is Jesus. And Jesus was the potentiality of the Father. That's why people were like, you're not God. You're not God. You're just the seed. You're just the seed. You're just like, you feel what I'm saying? So this seed holds the information of every avocado that came before it. So that's the same way it is with Capricorn, and that's why they represent the grandfather. Stay tuned for part 2 on this because we're already 7 minutes deep.